Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're plunging headfirst into something that, well, touches pretty much all of us daily. Social media reality in 2025.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
And we're not just making guesses. We've got excerpts from a really comprehensive report full of data, forecasts, the works, our mission, to unpack the big shifts, how we connect, what we consume, how we create online, and crucially, what it all means for you.
Right, because it affects everyone differently.
Exactly. And we're going to explore this fascinating sort of tug of war happening. On one side, you've got these hyper-personalized, algorithm-driven
The
experiences.
curated feeds.
Yeah. And on the other, this growing hunger for, unfiltered reality.
Yeah.
Real community.
It's a definite counter-trend.
Get ready for some surprises, too. How social media is somehow both totally saturated and still growing.
Which seems contradictory, but yeah.
And how AI is just quietly changing everything behind the scenes. Plus, why privacy is actually making a comeback.
It really is. Okay, let's unpack this.
So let's start with the sheer scale, right?
Yeah.
Because it really sets the stage.
The numbers are pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah. The digital world, according to these sources, is hitting what they call saturation. Growth is slowing down
Right.
as we bump up against the limits of global adoption.
But don't think that means it's stagnant. Not at all.
No, far from it.
We're talking 5.24 billion active social media users worldwide.
Wow.
That's over 60% of everyone on the planet. Just let that sink in.
It's massive.
And here's another one. 94.2% of all internet users now use social media somehow.
So basically, if you're online, you're on social.
Pretty much.
That's a crucial point, though, because while that overall growth curve is flattening a bit, the kind of growth is changing. And one thing that really jumps out is that this digital divide, it's still very real.
Right. So it's not evenly spread.
Not at all. You look at regional adoption rates, and there are huge differences. Places like Eastern Asia, Central and South America, really high engagement.
EU, UK, North America, also mature markets, high penetration. But then you look at, say, Sub-Saharan Africa.
Still catching up.
Significantly lower adoption rates, yeah. And this isn't just random. It ties directly back to things like infrastructure, economic development.
Right. Access and affordability.
Exactly. It fundamentally shapes how and where social media takes root.
So it's not just who's online, but where they are. And maybe even more interesting is why they're logging on in the first place.
The motivations, yeah.
The report found users have, on average, something like 4.66 primary reasons for using social media.
That many, okay.
Yeah. And it varies a lot by generation. But the top reason, for just over half, 50.8%, is simple. Staying in touch with friends and family.
The core connection piece. Still number one.
Still number one. But then entertainment is huge, too, especially for younger users. Just, passing time.
The endless scroll.
Yeah. How many times have I thought just 5 minutes on TikTok and then poof, an hour's gone?
We've all been there.
And here's a big one. 34.5%, over a third, rely on social media as a primary news source.
That's significant. And maybe a little concerning, depending on the source.
Right. And younger people also really prioritize keeping up with trends, what's current.
FOMO is real.
It really is. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do your own reasons line up with these averages, or do you lean more one way than another?
Yeah, good question for everyone listening.
That focus on entertainment, especially the younger crowd, leads us right into what kind of content is grabbing all that attention. Because the report is crystal clear. Short-form video absolutely rules.
No surprise there.
Look at TikTok. Over 2 billion users globally. Marketers definitely see that 71% are prioritizing short video.
They have to. It's where the eyeballs are.
The insight here, though, is how this extreme focus on short, really snackable stuff has just fundamentally changed attention spans and how brands tell stories.
It's a different language almost.
And the engagement. Average daily time spent is over 60 minutes.
An hour a day just on these short videos? Wow.
That's a lot of scrolling.
And that massive engagement with short video brings up the question of, well, what kind of video actually works?
Right, what cuts through?
And the report really hammers this point. It calls it the UGC revolution. Authenticity is dominating.
User-generated content.
Exactly. On TikTok, for instance, 55.7% of all content is UGC. And it's not just fluff, it's driving real money. 18% of creator revenue comes from it.
So people making stuff themselves.
Yeah, and the key takeaway for brands is that embracing that real, relatable, sometimes messy UGC, it consistently gets higher engagement than the super slick professional stuff.
Interesting. So less polish, more realness.
People connect with realness. It's a powerful shift away from that older model of advertising.
And making all this content creation even more dynamic for users and brands is AI.
Ah, yes, the AI factor.
Here's where it gets really interesting. AI is basically transforming how content gets made.
In quite a few ways.
Yeah, we're talking AI assistants, things like FeedHive, Predis.ai, even Instagram's got Movie Gen that can automatically create and optimize posts.
Taking some of the grunt work out of it.
Totally. But it's more than just creation. AI is also powering the analytics, the optimization, using sentiment analysis, predictive algorithms.
Figuring out the best times to post, what formats work.
Exactly. And it gets super personal, too. AI can whip up different versions of content tailored for specific audience segments. More relevant, right?
Hyper-personalization.
And the impact is not small. Organizations using these tools are reporting 40% plus bumps in engagement and revenue.
That's a significant return.
Makes you wonder, have you noticed how curated your feeds feel sometimes? Maybe without even realizing AI was pulling some strings.
It's often quite subtle.
Okay, building on that idea of immersive, tailored stuff, let's talk augmented reality, AR.
Beyond just the funny face filters.
Way beyond. We're really in an AR revolution. Think virtual try-ons for shopping.
Seeing how glasses look on you from your couch.
Exactly. Or clothes. Brands are using it for interactive experiences, 3D storytelling, immersive content. Even location-based AR features are popping up on social.
Like Pokemon Go, but for brands.
Sort of. And the business impact is huge. AR content sees 20% higher engagement. AR shopping. A massive 94% increase in conversion rates.
94%.
Yeah. And users spend almost 3 times longer with AR content. It's really changing how we interact online.
And zooming out a bit, it's pretty clear that AR is a major engine for this booming social commerce trend.
Right. Shopping directly on social.
Which is already a $1 trillion market and growing fast.
Oh, wow, $1 trillion.
Yeah. The big change is how easily users are finding and buying products now. It's happening right there in the feed, through creator content, through those algorithmic suggestions.
You don't even have to leave the app.
Exactly. Native shopping features like TikTok Shop, Instagram Shopping make it seamless. In-app purchase, boom, done.
Frictionless.
And the creator economy is central here. Influencers driving purchases through ideally authentic product mentions. The line between just scrolling for fun and shopping is getting blurrier and blurrier.
Platforms definitely want it that way.
Oh, absolutely. Seamless commerce is a huge priority.
And guess what's making that seamless shopping journey even smoother, even more tailored?
Let me guess. AI.
You got it. AI again. It's personalizing the whole experience in, incredible ways.
How so?
Well, first, it analyzes your engagement, what you like, watch, click on to figure out your interests, often better than you know them yourself.
Building that profile.
Then, the algorithms serve up products that match your specific taste, not just generic ads.
Tailored discovery.
Right. And it feels more natural because the recommendations pop up contextually within content you're already looking at. Feels less like an ad, more like a discovery.
Making it harder to resist sometimes.
Totally. And then the final piece, frictionless purchase. Often just one click. Removes all the barriers.
Get them while they're interested.
Basically, yeah. AI creates these shopping moments that feel curated just for you, not mass marketed. And surprise, surprise, conversion rates go way up.
Thanks.
Ever happened to you? Scrolling, see something a creator you like recommends, and bam, impulse buy right there on the app.
Maybe once or twice. Or more.
Huh? Okay, shifting gears from what we see to who we follow. The report points out some really interesting following patterns, big generational divides here.
Yeah, that was fascinating.
Gen Z and millennials, they tend to follow way more accounts, like 2 to 3 times more than older users.
Okay.
They prioritize content creators, entertainers, engage with broader stuff, and they're more likely to follow aspirational figures.
You're right, influencers, celebrities, perhaps.
Yes, Gen X and boomers.
Yeah.
They mainly follow people they actually know in real life.
Real-life connections dominate.
Yeah. They also follow more brands, percentage-wise, and they engage more with news, information, more practical, utility-driven content.
Very different approaches to using the platform.
Totally shows how different generations view their digital social lives. And when you look specifically at influencer following, that varies wildly too. by region, by demographic.
Huge cultural differences?
Yeah, the report gives examples like, say, young women aged 18-24 in the Philippines have totally different patterns than older men, 55 plus, in Russia.
Yeah.
Reveals a lot about cultural attitudes.
That's a critical point. And it actually leads into another big trend, almost a counter trend to all this public mass consumption.
Which is?
The rise of private communities.
Like groups in smaller spaces.
Exactly. It seems to be a reaction against that feeling of social fatigue, just passively scrolling endless feeds.
People want more meaningful connection.
Precisely. So you see sustained growth in places like Facebook groups, interest-based, often moderated, or Discord servers, real-time chat, dedicated channels.
Yeah, Discord's huge for that.
Even newer platforms like Keek, which are all about authentic micro-communities, these smaller, often private spaces, they foster way stronger loyalty and deeper engagement than the big public feeds.
So a move towards intimacy online.
It's definitely a pushback against that algorithmic fire hose feel.
And tied into that search for authenticity, for maybe safer spaces, is this huge wave of privacy concerns. They're really reshaping how people behave online.
Absolutely. The privacy awakening is real.
It's forcing big changes in how platforms handle our data, how they collect it, use it. Tell us about it.
And it's global. The report says 79.3% of the world's population is now covered by some kind of privacy law.
That's a massive number. And people are paying attention. 72% worry about online tracking. Over half, 52%, have actually avoided using a service because they were worried about privacy.
That's direct impact.
And 68% just want companies to be more transparent about what they're doing with the data.
The demand for transparency is huge. It's a major shift in user expectations.
So this raises a big question. How are the platforms, how are brands adapting to this privacy-first era?
Yeah, they have to adapt. For platforms, we're seeing things like better privacy controls, clearer explanations of data use.
Making the settings easier to find, hopefully.
Hopefully. And a big shift towards opt-in consent, rather than assuming opt-out is enough. Plus, using tech for privacy-preserving analytics.
Okay. And what about brands?
Brands are having to rethink things too. Prioritizing first-party data customers give them directly.
Building their own lists.
Exactly. Offering a clear value exchange if they want data, like give us your email for this discount. Exploring contextual targeting instead of just tracking individuals everywhere.
So advertising based on the content someone's viewing, not their personal profile.
Right. And ultimately, it all comes down to building trust through being transparent, because users are just way more privacy savvy now.
Makes you think, how much do privacy worries shape your decisions? Which apps you use, what you share?
It's definitely becoming a bigger factor for many people.
So all these changes in content and privacy, they're also shaking up the creator world, right?
Oh, absolutely. Fundamentally.
There's this noticeable shift to passive consumption happening. What you see is increasingly decided by algorithms, not just who you actively follow.
The algorithm is the gatekeeper.
Which means, for content to even get seen, it often needs really high production values now. Gotta stand out.
The bar keeps getting higher.
And that creates real creator challenges.
Yeah.
It's just harder for new or smaller creators to break through, to gain traction.
Higher barriers to entry, definitely.
Plus, the big platforms. They're optimizing to keep you watching longer and longer, which doesn't always encourage active participation, like commenting or sharing.
More viewing time equals more ad revenue for them.
Right.
But that push towards passive viewing and slick production, that's exactly what's fueling the counter movement we talked about.
The authenticity pushback.
Yeah, the authenticity counter movement. You see it in nostalgia platforms like SpaceX.
Like old school MySpace.
Exactly. Reviving that early social media feel, simpler connection. You see it in the community focus of platforms like Keek, building those tight-knit groups.
Right, the micro communities.
And maybe most importantly, this growing appetite for unfiltered reality. Content that just shows life, warts and all, without the perfect Instagram filter.
People are tired of fake perfection.
Seems like it. It's a really interesting tension against the polished, algorithmic mainstream.
So what does all this mean for creators actually trying to make a living? The creator monetization landscape sounds tricky.
Uncertain is a good word. There are platform shifts causing real instability.
Like with TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's facing regulatory heat in some places, Plus, their creator payment models have been notoriously unstable,
So creators are nervous.
which has led to this migration to established platforms. Creators are hedging their bets, building up their presence more on Instagram, on YouTube, places that feel a bit more stable, maybe.
Diversifying.
Exactly. Plus, those higher entry barriers we mentioned make it tough for newcomers. And the successful creators, they're pretty much all running a multi-platform strategy.
Being everywhere at once.
Well, strategically present on maybe 3+ platforms to reduce the risk if one platform changes its algorithm or its payment rules.
So the creator economy is getting more professional, maybe?
Yeah.
But also riskier.
That sums it up pretty well. More professionalized, but also more precarious.
Okay, wow. That was a lot. Let's try to quickly recap the 2025 social media landscape we just walked through.
Good idea, the big picture.
We're seeing market saturation, growth is slowing overall, but video, especially short form, total dominance.
King content.
AI is everywhere underneath, enhancing creation, optimization, personalization. Immersive tech like AR is opening up new ways to engage and shop.
Transforming the experience.
There's a massive focus on privacy now, driven by laws and users, forcing adaptation.
Privacy is paramount.
And kind of against the grain, this community revival. People seeking out private spaces, authentic connection.
Countering the passive scroll.
It really feels like a landscape of competing forces, doesn't it?
Definitely. So, to succeed in this new landscape, whether you're a brand or a creator, you need to be smart about it.
What are the keys?
For brands,
Yeah.
I'd say. Embrace immersive tech AR interactive video. Leverage AI for personalization, but don't lose the human touch. Build communities around values, not just pushing products.
Be transparent about data.
Yeah.
And integrate that authentic UGC we talked about.
Okay, makes sense. And for creators.
Diversify your platforms. Don't put all eggs in one basket. Use AI tools to help scale production, but keep it authentic. Build direct relationships with your audience email lists, private groups.
Owning the audience connection.
Right. Create content in multiple formats. And really focus on building a genuine community, not just chasing the next viral hit.
Solid advice. So, as we wrap up, here's a final thought. As these algorithms get even smarter, experiences get more immersive, our online lives and real lives blur even more.
Yeah?
What does all this mean for our own digital identities? How do we choose to connect and consume in this future?
Big question.
How do we balance the perfectly curated with the genuinely authentic? The massive global reach with the small, intimate group, the automated efficiency with, well, the human connection.
Finding that balance is key.
Definitely something to think about. We hope this deep dive gave you some useful perspectives to navigate those questions. Keep exploring, keep questioning. Absolutely. Thanks for tuning in.
And we'll see you on the next deep dive.